Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Podcasting is Praxis. It's a kind of different crew today because a bunch of people are out and some cowards refuse to turn up, but I'm Rob, and my pronouns are he and him.
I'm Jamie, my pronouns are he and him.
And to replace all, the people who couldn't be here and some other people who are, as I said, charlatans and cowards, we have friend of the pod, Sinan. They're back.
Yeah, I'm back. Pronouns are they, them, and I am probably the world-leading expert on this film at the moment, which is kind of unfortunate.
And what a fucking film it is!
Yeah, it's
for your entertainment. For your entertainment tonight, we watched like fucking, action comedy masterpiece. 2 hours of screaming.
This piece of cinematic art almost made me lose all faith in God. Essentially, if I had any left, I
want to establish that someone paid for me to watch this film the first time. It may have been me, it may have been my partner at the time, but someone paid for the tickets to watch this film at the cinema.
Yeah.
And I only went to watch it at the cinema because I was kind of baked when I came home one night from a party. I got recommended reviews of the film on YouTube, and one of them had a line that I would only laugh at when I was high, which was, "This film contributed nothing to broader culture." And
I think actually it's the reverse. I think this film actually does significant damage to the idea of culture.
Out,
just kind of just makes me want to, start all over again, just destroy all art and just.
We need to, because I feel like we'll get into it, but it doesn't do anything original, which is impressive when you're basing it off a game like Borderlands.
Yeah,
it's impressive to do nothing.
It's Borderlands. We didn't name the film.
Oh yeah, we didn't name the film. Yeah.
Borderlands brackets 2024.
I've watched it twice now. Well,
Same.
kind of.
Yeah.
I've watched it once and I will never watch it again. Not even at gunpoint will you make me watch this piece of shit again.
What if though? What if it was gunpoint, but the gun was randomly generated? Would you watch it then?
And just to give you an artist's overview of what. Just the flavour of this movie, because, I skimmed the Wikipedia page apart from watching the movie, so, never say we don't do our fucking research on this podcast. This is from the wiki. The director, Eli Roth, stated that his French bulldog pooping gave him inspiration while pitching the film. I have to look away because she gets really shy. But one day, I filmed her. She had that shy look on her face. And I was like, that's Claptrap. It's one of the characters in the movie. A scene of Claptrap pooping was later included in the final film.
And the sad thing about that is that's one of the funniest moments in the film.
It's really not. It's one of the
legitimately, it's like the movie. But the thing is, it's all fucking awful. So it's It's the thing. This is the whole thing. It's the thing of someone telling you a really obvious joke and then winking at you. That's the whole fucking tone of every bit of comedy in this. I'm sorry, it's driven me insane again. I just can't cope with how bad this film is.
It's also just a pastiche of other things that you've seen everywhere before all the time. Half my notes are just stop reminding me of this and that, and just
stop reminding me of Lethal Weapon specifically in any film ever again, please. I watched the fucking film. I don't need to hear it a million fucking times now. We're done.
It's it's basically just Guardians of the Galaxy with a bunch of actors who should know better.
See, my comparison was more, they wanted to do pastel Mad Max, but they Marvelized it way too fucking much. And so it's just...
I thought it was 13-year-old writes sweary follow-up to Star Wars.
Okay, so this is a good sign when none of us can agree on the sort of artistic vision. Is probably not a good sign.
It's not even that sweary though, is it? What was the rating on it?
13.
Sure it was a 12.
Well, actually, there's a
13.
reason for that. I was reading about this, on Wikipedia, because I do my research, and apparently it was cut down. They cut all the head exploding scenes and a bunch of other stuff to get it to a 13. So it was originally pitched at 18 for cool grown-ups.
It wouldn't have saved it.
I'm
just going to put that out there.
But it was a baffling choice to aim this film at children, I feel. And it was aimed at children. It was aimed at children in that like really sort of like patronizing way when someone can't be asked to write a film for children, so they just have like a fucking endless cascade of noise for 2 hours. Because kids, like, you know what I mean? Kids love when like there's just no fucking like no pause at all and things just constantly happen for 2 hours while everyone screams.
I'm pretty sure Borderlands wasn't rated a 12 or anything like that. I don't remember it too well because it came out in 2009, which is a bit concerning for me.
Did they even rate games back then?
Well, they definitely, because Mortal Kombat's the one that caused all the rating shit to happen because it was too cool, apparently. Well, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, if there wasn't a ratings warning on Mortal Kombat, I would certainly have started ripping out people's spines in the street.
Yeah, that's right.
True.
I just did it last week. I
was trying to find...
Okay, I've looked. The Borderlands games are all rated M for mature in America, or whatever the fuck. So, it doesn't make any fucking sense to make this a 12, first of all. No fucking point in doing that. No one who played this game when they first played it would have been younger than, like, 14. Really.
Yeah, but see, this is my theory of the audience. I don't think this is a movie aimed at kids. I think it's a movie aimed at like 14 to 16-year-old boys who have like their brains melted down by being on TikTok all day.
But they can play video games that do this. They can play the games. They can play the fucking actual games. They're on Steam or wherever.
Again, though, like Borderlands, the game came out in like what 2009. So
yeah. So this is like
I've never played a fucking game, so like...
So, yeah, this is the other thing, is Borderlands was not like a massive fucking game. It was like, it had its audience, but it wasn't like a huge, like, intellectual property. It wasn't fucking Mass Effect. It's contemporary with Mass Effect. That was fucking huge after the second game came out. Borderlands was always kind of, you know, it's people who knew it liked it, but it wasn't like, you know, massive. It wouldn't be something even among gamers you would expect like most people to know what you meant. It wasn't like that massive. So I don't really get why you make a movie about a game that wasn't massive, right?
I mean,
like,
it does form into a line about like movies of games because like we'll talk about the director in a little bit, I suspect, but because I know Jamie, this is one of your favorites.
I fucking love the guy. Yeah.
But the executive producer, to give you some of his like greatest hits of the last, I don't know, decade or something, the remake of Ghost in the Shell with Scarlett Johansson. He's the exec producer of all 3 Venom movies. He's the exec.
That's okay. I guess.
No, they're all shit. He's the same for Uncharted, the movie, which we've already done on this podcast, Morbius, and this year's Kraven the Hunter. So clearly someone, you know, and he's in charge of the upcoming Legend of Zelda movie.
So, oh my god, that film's going to suck so bad. But also, so this guy is the reason why it's Morbin time is a meme, is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
So I have him to blame for that entire fucking 3-month period where all anyone did was make that joke. Great.
Yes.
The director is like the fucking... I mean, he did Cabin Fever, Hostel Part 2, and then sort of has fucked around with stuff. I mean, he's done more horror stuff.
Oh yeah,
it's all just also done like... It's sort of,
he's also
I'm
done...
not a horror person, but it's also all like the sort of, I don't know, like sort of schlock horror, like, you know, or like shock horror, just like, oh, look how brutal we can murder people, you know?
Yeah. Ooh. But he's also done like, he's also like branched out into other fucking incredible stuff because he did like some film where Keanu Reeves like answers the door to a couple of like fucking teenage girls who then like ruin his life. It's like a feminist called masterpiece. Knock Knock. Yes. And he did the remake of Death Wish. Which,
oh no! Who wanted a remake of that? What the fuck?
I don't know, but like it's got fucking it's got Bruce Willis in it.
Oh,
and it just disappeared without a trace. There was trailers for it, and then it came out, and you never heard anyone say anything about it ever.
I'm not gonna lie, this is literally the first I'm hearing of this. Like, I'm not kidding.
I remember seeing the trailers and thinking, well, that looks incredibly racist. But then I never heard anything else after that. So
I guess it was fine then.
But he also did The House with a Clock in Its Walls, whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah, that's I think is where he met Jack Black and Cate Blanchett, who are in this movie for reasons I still don't fully understand.
Somehow cast as these characters is fucking incredible that these people are
I guess the house with the fucking clock thing is apparently an American fantasy comedy film.
Oh no!
So like, I gather that's a kids' film, and that's where someone decided like this is the perfect guy. The guy who did the what if people were tortured to death by like sinister Eastern Europeans. Do you know what I mean? Like film series. That guy is the man we need to direct children's films. It's
like the 70,000th ripoff of like a book where a kid learns to be a wizard or something. You know,
probably yeah.
I'm assuming the kid in that story learns how to tell time, but I'm not really sure, and I don't really intend to find out either. I'm just assuming that's what it is now.
It's something with clocks, and they gave the kid magic powers, whatever.
All right.
But my favorite fact about Borderlands, the movie, is that like they had to do reshoots, and they got the Deadpool guy in to do reshoots, and then he demanded his name not be on the finished film.
But that's like the whole thing, right? Is like this was produced and came out like in the fucking Deadpool era, where like, you know, sort of wink at the camera, you know, gore, you know, Sebi superhero shit was already like a thing, and this just did it like so much worse.
Yeah, they tried to. The thing is, they did it, but with none of the charm. Is kind of the amazing thing is they did it with none of the charm. At least like the first Deadpool. It was like, one, it was something kind of, you know, it was a bit different. And also it was, you know, it was okay. Like, it was fine.
Yeah, I like the first Deadpool. I will sit down and watch that again.
I like the second one as well, but I think like the more money they have to spend on those films, the worse they get.
Yeah, it's like, in the first two Deadpools, you can tell they're having a good time with it. Like, there's definitely, like, an element of, oh, they're having a good time with it. And so I'm willing to just kind of, even if there's things I don't like, I'm like, yeah, you know what? It's still fun. But this is just, like, joyless. It's joyless throughout.
It's so joyless. I don't understand why this, why I watched, like, I didn't watch a movie. I watched a cinematic product that was, like, drop shipped to me.
Yeah. Before we move off, like move into the fucking film itself, would you want one last interesting fact about the behind the scenes, like fucking cast and crew?
Absolutely.
I genuinely do.
It was co-written by the guy that wrote Chernobyl.
Yes. Oh, amazing.
Yeah, and he had his name removed from the project.
Well, yeah, I can imagine. Because, like, Chernobyl, like, even though it's, like, wildly inaccurate in some places, pretty good. I can watch Chernobyl. It's fine.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Like, yeah.
The series, right? Do you ever talk about the series?
The HBO series. I'm
assuming. It fucking goes hard. It's really good.
Yeah, like, doesn't understand how the Soviet Union works at all, but pretty good, aside from that. But yeah, how does that person co-write this? Like, how are you watching this being written, presumably, and just not go, wow, there's a sickness at the heart of this? Because that's what there is. That's what there is. There's a sickness at the heart of this film.
And we will discuss it more as we get through this movie, because there's just I paused it halfway through yesterday. I just went off to do something else. I couldn't take it anymore.
I don't know. I feel like I repressed the memory of watching this the first time. I feel like it left such little impression on me that I needed to rewatch a little bit of it, just to remember. Oh wait, this is actually the fucking worst thing I've ever watched. Like,
you know what the thing of it is, right? In terms of the worst thing we've ever watched, I always thought that, like, in terms of, we've watched a lot of shit for this podcast, like a lot of shit. But one of the abiding, like, enduring memories of one of the worst things I've ever watched for this podcast is Harry Brown, because it's so relentlessly grim. But at least that movie is designed to make you feel that. It is designed to make you feel something. This just left me feeling hollow and sad and just
I've watched Mortal Kombat Annihilation more times than I care to admit. It is probably the worst film. It was probably until I watched this the worst film I've ever watched. This blew it out the fucking water. It was incredible how bad it was.
I think this is definitely one of the most badly made pieces of shit we've ever watched, but I think we've watched worse films. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
this is just the most artless fucking thing we've ever seen, but you know what I mean? I don't hate it as much as I hate Harry Brown or fucking London Has Fallen.
What I want is the guys who made Turkish Star Wars to make this film, because I think they do it better, and it would be a product of joy then. That's what I want.
Hello, and thank you for choosing Podcasting is Praxis. Our podcasters are experiencing an unusually high volume of unfunny bits at the moment, so you've been placed in a queue. Your patronage is important to us, and I need to inform you of the great benefits you freeloaders are missing out on by not subscribing on Patreon. A back catalogue of premium episodes, plus
2 bonus episodes
every month, ad-free regular episodes, plus you get access to our Discord, which, in addition to being able to harass the Praxis Cast crew with your favourite Star Wars characters, will allow you to listen to all of your favourite cutting room floor moments, such as... and...
Fuck off, Alistair.
Subscribing lets us create more of these hilarious moments, so please do subscribe for just $5 a month on patreon.com/praxiscast. And now, back to the episode.
Yeah, I mean, should we talk about the, and imagine the fucking air quotes here, plot?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, because I feel like you should base the plot at least somewhat on a game, recognizably on the game. Right?
Is it not?
I mean,
because I've never played Borderlands, so I looked at this and I just went I assume that the lead characters or the plucky team of 5 or 6 who are the leads. I was like, oh, these must be the classes from the game or something. And
don't know.
I assume from the look of this planet that the entire game looks like shit and, is designed to look like a sort of brown hellhole as well.
Oh, yeah, the planet's it's meant to look like shit. The planet's completely fucked. It's meant to be this sort of post-apocalypse-y not Borderlands, Mad Max-y kind of thing. That's all, fine. But they're not the classes in the game, they're actual characters in the game, some of these. So some of these are meant to be actual characters in the game. But they're not all from the same... So, not all of them are in all of the games, if I'm remembering correctly. But broadly, these are, the most familiar characters. Claptrap is 100%, straight out of the games. And probably the least offensively shit character, even though it's played by Jack Black.
If you play the game, 3 of them, as I guess... With that character, is the character Claptrap the same in the games as they are in the movie?
He's marginally less annoying. He's less annoying.
Yeah, it's the character in the games is widely considered to be one of the most annoying pieces of shit characters ever written. And fair play to Jack Black for making it worse somehow.
Yeah, and you can't kill him. This is the fucking problem. Yeah. You can't kill him. It's the whole fucking thing. But yeah, Jack Black made it worse than it already was. It was but in the context of the games, it was at least it wasn't relentless. It wasn't in your face constantly. Whereas in the film, they would draw really specific attention to him, basically at the worst time. And it's why are we doing this? And I get it's because you paid Jack Black to do it, so you have to get your money's worth, I guess. But at the same time, just if you'd made it as annoying as the game, it wouldn't have been as bad. It would have been okay. Also,
but it's it's the opposite. The character, the little robot, is the opposite of comic relief. It's I don't know, comedic annoyance or whatever. It's every time it's just here's my character. Here comes a quip. Are you ready for the quip?
The amount of Marvel-ish sort of quipping and sort of and the sort of fake out they repeat with the toy, the toys that Tiny Tina uses to fake people out twice within 5 minutes in the same of the film.
Yeah,
And it's just like, you can do it once. You can do it once with a fake out. You can't keep using the same fake out over and over again. And it's just... And then there'll be a bit where it's like a joke, and then they will repeat the joke a bit harder, and it's just like, I don't need it. You could cut out like half the film's runtime from just repeating jokes.
You can cut whole scenes out of this and it will make it better.
I know there's so much stuff that happens that just doesn't happen.
You could make it a 20-minute episode, a pilot episode of a show, and maybe it's like feasible to enjoy a 20-minute bit of this. I'm not sure. We'd have to cut it up quite a bit, but yeah.
I mean, it's basically the plot of the fucking game, right? So, like, in the game, everyone's looking for a secret vault on some planet that's full of unspecified treasure.
The planet Pandora.
Yeah.
I thought
because of the
Pandora
box,
was the name of the planet of the blue aliens in the Ridley Scott thing?
No, that's James Cameron. But
James Cameron.
Yeah, but this came first. I'm pretty sure.
Right.
Because it's Pandora, because, like, you know, the vault contains like all the fucking world's evils or some shit.
Pretty sure in the game it was a massive fake out and it didn't have anything in it, which is pretty funny. And actually works in the game really well because it's not awful.
Yeah, I mean, the first game, like, does it turns up, it does what it, like, set out to do, and then it, like, fucking, it doesn't overstay its welcome, and then the second one overstays all of the welcomes in existence, I feel.
Yeah, the first one is a solid 8 out of 10 outing, and that's fine, and that's good, and, you know, people like it. Second one, a little bit worse, I will say. A little bit worse. Not my favourite.
The second one's just so gratingly fucking annoying, the film is, like, massively fucking annoying at all times, and it does get that from like Borderlands 2, I think.
So just to set the plot for our dear listeners, like it's not an opening crawl, but there's a voiceover, and you hear Cate Blanchett's voice, and immediately go, "Why are you in this? Like, what?
Why is Cate Blanchett playing Lilith? That doesn't.
Do you want to hear? Do you want to hear Cate Blanchett's like fucking excuse?
I genuinely do.
Please.
I think there also may have been a little COVID madness. I was spending a lot of time in the garden using the chainsaw a little too freely, and my husband said, "This film could save your life." So there you go.
I mean,
that's her rationalization for being in this.
Does make me want to hang out with Cate Blanchett. She sounds like a good time, but you know,
yeah, she sounds cool. But also, like, they just, my guess is they just brought a dump truck full of money outside her house, and were like, "Do you want to be this fucking character you have no business playing?" in this thing where you have presumably no idea what it's about, and she's like, "Yeah, fuck it, something to do," and that's fine.
Yeah, so we get the opening voiceover, and it's just like the planet Pandora was ruled over by the blog, and there are scraps which are MacGuffins in the movie, but also this particular planet has like the biggest MacGuffin of all, and it's the vault of all knowledge or secrets or the ancients of the ancestors or whatever the fuck. But for like a planet that has like, you know, I have never played the game, so please don't correct me. I assume that this planet in the universe of Borderlands has like the same importance as like Arrakis has for the universe of Dune. Because it's the planet with all the MacGuffins on it.
I feel like it's more like...
But my question then is, like, if it's so important and if it has all the vaults of the secrets of the ancestors and the whatever tech, like, and then it immediately like goes, this planet is ruled over by corporations, psychos, and criminals, and it's an anarchy. And I'm like, but if it's so important, why is it?
Because it's meant to be like. It's meant to be. It was a normal planet, and then it got ruined by treasure hunters, and so now the only people that ever go there are treasure hunters or something.
Yeah, because like the vaults, there are like vaults on other planets, right? And they basically give you a massive tech advantage. To talk in strategy game terms, it's like you skip an age in Civ. It's like that. That's basically what it is. And so everyone starts looking for these things on this planet where they think there's a vault. And it just fucks everything up, and then it descends into, like, weird cyberpunk dystopia mixed with Mad Max, which I guess could have worked, but in a film it probably could have landed, but it didn't. And so now that idea is dead forever. So that's cool.
Oh yeah, and the main important thing, which is the end of the voiceover, is that the daughter of Iridia or of Iridia or something will open the door to the Glorch. And
everyone's waiting for the return of Lady MacGuffin.
Yeah.
Yes.
The chosen one who's descended from the precursor civilization, who will save everyone from everything. And it's very cool.
And then we get set the whole tone of the movie, because right at the end of the voiceover, Cate Blanchett does a swear and said, "Wow, that's a bunch of bullshit, isn't it? Ha ha!
Yeah,
we're all clever and in the know."
If you're a fan of people in the film like commenting on things that are happening in the film, then is this the fucking movie for you? Do you know what I mean?
There's too much. It's too much
because it's fucking relentless.
It's if you've graduated from like Joss Whedon, this is like the fentanyl to Joss Whedon's heroin.
It's just too much. It's too much. I feel like if they did it like 5% less, first of all, you'd cut out like half the film probably. Again, basically doing anything a bit less renders most of the film pointless. So I feel like this had to be made like this now, the more I think about it. But it's just like, why, first of all, why Cate Blanchett immediately off the bat? You're gonna, oh, by the way, Rob, if you haven't played the games, you're gonna love who the game equivalent of Kevin Hart's character is. You're gonna love seeing who he is supposed to be playing.
Yeah, because that's the next person, and this is like already. This is because this is the first actual scene of the movie, and it's Kevin. It's a guy walking into a cell where I haven't played the game, so I don't know the references, and frankly, I don't care. There's some girl being held in a cell, and the guy is coming to save her, and he's clearly wearing like a Darth Vader style mask, and just like rips it off and says, "Oh, it's hard to breathe in," and it's everybody's favorite comedian. It's Kevin Hart, everybody.
Yeah, also, the homophobe.
And can I just say, why is he in everything, like, all the time? He seems to never... there seems like there was just this moment where everyone decided, what we need is Kevin Hart in every fucking film. And I don't understand
He's consistent.
Well, yeah, I guess
he's consistent because, like, if you want Kevin Hart, you get Kevin Hart. Do you know what I mean? He's never done anything other than Kevin Hart in any film.
Do you want Kevin Hart? Because this is how you get Kevin Hart.
Yeah, like, he's like a fucking... His career is like a fucking cockroach after a nuclear bomb. It's impossible to kill.
Yeah, he's the ultimate known quantity.
Yeah, and the thing is, okay, so, like, Kevin Hart is famously a little guy. He's a little guy. Like,
he's a man.
Yeah, the character he plays, Roland, is like fucking massive. In the games, he's fucking huge.
Massive and like stoic, Like,
he
does not constantly fucking wisecrack the entire
there's no
time.
quips. There's no. Okay, I said he was massive. He's like an inch taller than me. Maybe I'm inflating for my ego there, but like, okay. But he's like, compared to Kevin Hart, he's fucking huge, and he's not like a C-tier comedy guy. He's just not.
Do you want to hear an incredible fact about Kevin Hart's role in this film?
I most assuredly do.
Kevin Hart trained with United States Navy SEALs prior to auditioning.
Why?
Well, there's no part of that I don't love.
I mean, knowing this now, all I can say is, well, every second I see him on screen, I don't understand what you did with them.
He got pissed on. So the bit in the film where they all get pissed on.
That's true. They do get pissed on.
Training.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, there is the whole piss bit. That's like one of the bits they put in the trailer too. They thought that was one of the stronger things. They wanted that out front and center.
My favorite bit about that is like they all get piss on them, and then everyone says like, "Oh, we've got piss on," because you can't you know what I mean? You can't leave it ambiguous for the audience.
Especially when you call the place like the piss something. It's
that's right. Oh, we've driven into the Valley of Piss, and everyone's like, "Oh no, we're covered in piss now," and then like fucking Jack Black pipes up and goes, "It's actually 14% shit too."
Yeah. Which is, by the way, like a pretty good summary of Jack Black at this point as well.
Well, Jack Black is like, because in that sense, like Jack Black and Kevin Hart are interchangeable. It's like because you can't get rid of Jack Black either. There's nothing on Earth that like can pry this guy loose of appearing in movies.
He's in the fucking Minecraft movie, isn't he?
And we're doing that day one.
Yeah,
absolutely. Like that looks fucking dreadful.
Do you want to have me back for the fucking Minecraft movie? I'll pay to watch that shit. You couldn't stop me.
Jack. Do you know what I mean? You say there's nothing could stop Jack Black appearing in films, but Kyle Glass gave it a good try, didn't he?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I know, but then he turned out to be the weaker man, which is a fucking shame and a half.
I'm kind of wondering, like, how long until Jack Black appears in Andor? Because they're doing season 2. And
don't you say that. I mean, to be fair, David's on, so you can say that.
Yeah.
No, Jack Black was in another Star Wars show.
He was
so
in the Mando,
Yeah.
I remember because he was the governor of the planet, as I recall.
Anyway, back briefly to the plot. What happens is
there's a plot?
There's like a prison break scene because Kevin Hart wants to get the girl with the bunny ears out. I'm sure she matters to someone in the game. Frankly, I don't care. I don't want to know. I'm sad.
She's the best character in the game.
Okay, well,
probably.
That's not saying much. And then you get lines like, because among the people that populate the planet Glorch are psychos. They are undescribed. They just wear like hockey masks. They all look vaguely like Jason, I think. He's the one with the hockey mask. And they all just go, all they do is go insane. And that means they got a whole bunch of extras in to just like kind of go, they're like orcs in Warhammer 40k, but like not nearly as fun and not as well written.
Yeah.
Yeah, painting things red does not make them go faster, which is a shame.
Yeah. Anyway, Kevin Hart gets Bunny Girl out because she is apparently the daughter of Pandora, and she will unlock the sacred treasure vault of Glorch. And then we cut to a bar scene somewhere else on the planet Promethea, which is like, what if Cyberpunk, yo? What if we did like some really cheap shit aesthetics?
Yeah, you brought up the psychos, but you neglected to mention that one of the main characters of the film joins Kevin Hart because he's just a big guy in a hockey mask. And was he Krieg or something? He's called?
Krieg, the big boy.
Yeah,
he's just a large lad. He loves it. He just likes killing.
He's played by some gigantic German boxer, so that at least like seems reasonably in character.
Yeah. Shouts about meat a lot, which is. Yeah, apparently what passes for characterization.
He just likes me.
But yeah.
And we cut to a bar scene, and it's Cate Blanchett, who's a really good actress. Again, I mean, apparently who just did this out of COVID madness, but it wears a very strange red wig for reasons I'm sure have something to do with the game.
Character looks like that. That's it.
And some guy, she's bringing in some bounty guy. There's another guy that gets in and like gets his head slammed on the bar because he wants. There's some quips. There's some shooting of some guys, and I'm sure if you're like 13 years old and your entire cultural like input is these Borderlands games, this is like, whoa, I recognize this. But yeah,
and then the guy from the Bourne Ultimatum turns up, doesn't he?
Yeah. I'm already like having my brain melted just remembering the plot now.
Yeah. But yeah, the Bourne Ultimatum guy turns up and like he's Tiny Tina's dad. And he runs the Atlas Corporation.
Well, his name is, and I wrote it down and then I turned out I wrote it down wrong, but also I don't care. Like, his name is something like Duquillian Atlas. And it's like, I'm sorry, you cannot do it. Like, I'm sorry, but like fucking Star Wars got away with like naming someone Grotto Slorp. This fucking movie cannot get away with Duquillian Atlas. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not buying.
You don't have the George Lucas pass to get away with this, unfortunately.
My favorite bit of this whole bar scene, by the way, is like, because one of the things that's set up very briefly in the dialogue is Cate Blanchett is like, give me the top shelf fancy whiskey. And then the bartender puts the bottle on the bar, and it's very clearly, because it's like a lingering shot of a bottle of Ballantine's blended whiskey. And I'm like, God, I hope you guys paid a lot for this incredible product placement right there, because you could see the logo.
Oh no, could you imagine paying for product placement in this film? How mad you would be after it came out. Fucking hell.
Imagine paying for product placement for whiskey in a film that is quite clearly like marketed at teens. You know what I mean? And not like teens who are old enough to drink either.
Yeah, at the maximum end, they're starting their underage drinking arc, and you're not really going for whiskey at that point, I don't think.
No. And also, you're probably stealing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Cate Blanchett briefly refuses the call to adventure and then accepts the call to adventure. This all happens in the space of 30 seconds. So, great character development.
Although I appreciate that, because I'm fucking tired of people rejecting the call to adventure. It's like, some of us have got lives to live, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't like that every film is 30 minutes longer than it needs to be, because like fucking Captain America's like, no, I'm busy tonight.
I think there's literally like a line of narration from Lilith, Cate Blanchett, where she's like, some of us have to work for a living. I'm like, yeah, good, hurry the fuck up then. Get on with it.
Yeah. So she goes, she is instructed by Quillbore Atlas to go to the planet Pandora and rescue his daughter, who's the girl kept in the prison, and who he says is kidnapped by Kevin Hart. And my note just says, I wonder if you'll turn out to be the bad guy of this movie, because none of this is predictable at all.
Wait for the big reveal, everyone.
Yeah.
But
anyway, the bar is when he
a big reveal that comes very quickly. Incidentally.
Yeah. The bar is already like filled to the rim with dog shit CGI, but now we go off to the planet Pandora, which is like 99% dog shit CGI.
Yeah. We get a cameo from like weird bus driving guy.
Yeah, well, who is he and why is he?
I think it's like in the first game at least that I'm remembering, you get driven in on a bus. Yeah, and then there's the whole bit where Cage the Elephant starts playing in Arrested and Wicked, and it was like the bit. It's the bit that everyone knows from the game.
Yeah, incidentally, the introduction.
And incidentally, can I just say, really weird not to at least try and get the song for the film. Yeah, right.
No, they got fucking Muse though.
Yeah, they got Muse. Fucking terrible, by the way. I'm fucking fed up of Muse, but like, couldn't even try to get Cage the Elephant, who are not a massive band. They would probably have, even with how dog shit the film is, have appreciated it, because their entire profile is based off people remembering the game.
The thing is, like, I mean, I'm not an expert, but I imagine if you're providing, like, music for a film, they don't show you the film first.
No, they do not, yeah. Maybe they didn't want to roll those dice.
Anyway, just, like, in case, you overdosed on sugar or crack cocaine in the last 5 minutes of the plot, the bus driver's here to remind you again of the plot, which is this is the planet Pandora, and there's a secret door to the MacGuffin direction, and everybody's looking for the vault to the secret MacGuffin dimension.
They should have just made the film about that guy.
Yeah.
He was the best fucking performance in the film, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, admittedly, he didn't have much to do.
Yeah.
He didn't have much to do, and it's not a high bar to clear, but, like, you know what I mean?
He
was all right. Like, I didn't mind him.
He had to express some joy in the performance, which he did. And
he did. Which, fair enough. And then we get introduced to the general aesthetic of the rest of the movie, which is the planet Pandora is full of wasteland, and it's like it's really cheap shit, like Mad Max knockoffs essentially. Like everybody's lives in like destroyed crates, and there's like corrugated iron lying everywhere, except for cans of spray paint, which I assume were left in industrial quantities in every facility, because everything has this sort of like faux pastel, edgy color, graffiti aesthetic, and for 2 seconds it's kind of funny, and then it just becomes immensely grating.
Yeah. Anyway, so we get the last character introduction for a little while, which is fucking Kate Blanchett's like sitting around, and then like by a campfire, and then Jack Black turns up, like as Claptrap, or you know what I mean, like, and he turns up and he's like, he reveals that he was programmed specifically to wait for her to come back to the planet and then help her like fucking on her quest. And he doesn't want to do it, and he hates her, and she's a terrible person, but he's programmed and tells him he has to. And it's like, oh, cool. Well, I wonder why he was like, you know what I mean, dormant for 30 odd years until he finally came back to life just to help her. Essentially, Chekhov's knobhead. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
This is in my notes the first, but certainly not the last time that I've written, please God, let me die.
yeah, but anyway, the next, like, what, 30 minutes of the film are just inconsequential noise? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
like 45 minutes of it is just filler. This is a 101
so
minute long film, and 45 minutes of it is pretty much cuttable.
In very rapid succession, she meets the quippy robot. The quippy robot is fucking terrible. The next thing, the quippy robot, which is the voice of Jack Black, starts singing, scanning, and I'm assuming this is meant to be fun.
No, I think he just... No, yeah, well, maybe.
Well, just skipping along
honestly,
some bits.
Just stop talking about Jack Black.
Yeah, let's cut him out. Just get rid of him. Like,
So Kate Blanchett and the quippy robot arrive at the
quarry. I think actually, I know I literally just said stop talking about Jack Black, but I think this film might not have been worse if they'd swapped Jack Black with Chris Pratt. I think that's how bad Jack Black is in this film. I think I would have welcomed Chris Pratt.
Oh, Chris Pratt would have been a breath of fresh air in this film.
Yeah.
Like, that's how fucking bad it was.
Yeah. Anyway, so we turn up, the two of them, because the robot has tracking software or whatever the fuck. It's all just a series of let's get from place to place. They turn up in an abandoned quarry where there's a bunch of shit stacked on top of each other, where they meet the girl with the bunny ears, who is the promised one, whatever. I'm sure she matters to someone in the game, whatever. I don't care. And she turns out to be not like an innocent fun girl. No, she throws explosives everywhere, and sometimes they look like stuffed teddy bears with blinking red eyes, because that passes for comedy in this fucking world. And she's introduced, you see her doing like rope skips, but she's doing it with an iron chain because she's kooky.
It's good exercise too. Yeah, it's good cardio.
Yeah,
we meet strength training, you know.
She tries to blow up Kate Blanchett, and then Kate Blanchett fights the fucking psycho guy, and then like the fucking army turn up, and then they all fight the army, and then Kevin Hart turns up, and then Kevin Hart, they all get in Kevin Hart's car.
There's a line that you've seen in 10,000 other movies, like the commander of the evil army turns up, and then either Bunny Girl or the other one says, oh yeah, you're going to capture us, you and what army? And then the army commander says this army, and there's a bunch of guys who get blown up because they are faceless extras that exist to get blown up.
It's impressive to do that bit worse than Family Guy did it. That's how fucking bad it was. Like, I prefer the Family Guy like version of this. Yeah. Like, there's this Family Guy episode where like Peter's house is an independent country, and he sort of like annexes part of America, so the army shows up. So his kid can't go to school. He's like, oh yeah, them and what army? The US Army. And it's like, oh, that's a pretty good army, and that's legitimately funnier and a better constructed bit than anything in this fucking film.
The robot makes a joke along the lines of holy underwear. It's the second time my notes say kill me. And then to get away from the evil army, they drive into the zone of Big Monster, which is written on all the signs, and then they crash through the barrier.
The piss zone,
Yeah, it's Britain. They make a detour to Britain, and then...
Yeah, they do literally describe it as like the fucking piss flats or something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that.
For literally no reason, like the fucking like Tiny Tina winds the window down in the car, and everyone's shouting at her to wind the window back up, and then wouldn't you know it, like a gallon of piss comes in the window.
Yeah, one of the
Kevin
characters says it's in my mouth because you know, pee in mouth is comedy.
Yeah,
I have nephews that are 9 and 11. They have better patter than this.
Kevin Hart was suitably upset about the piss in his car, though. I gotta say, he sold that to me.
Well,
that's his Navy SEAL training.
Yeah, that's his only. I'm beginning to think that was his real car and it was real piss. In which case, I'd say
honestly,
good,
I think it's the reverse. I think he's like just pretending too hard. I do think he was just like pissed on by Navy SEALs for 3 months in preparation of this role.
It's just this one scene where he kind of nailed it, where he like put in a 6 out of 10 performance. This one scene. That's all
anyway,
it was.
They're in the car. They do a big ramp jump because they're still being chased by the evil army. The ramp jump is into the mouth of the monster, but they shoot rockets in its mouth first, so they explode out the back of the exploding monster's head window. And then the real foe of the car is revealed. It's not the giant monster or the piss. It's a flat tire. So all the characters get to stand around now for a moment and do some exposition.
We love it.
Because all the characters don't like each other, but they do realize we're all on the same side. So we'll bury our differences. What if, like, on the way during your quest, you found your family, right? Like, what if there's like a found family thing going on around here?
What if that? What if you did that, but it was totally unearned and you made no connection to any of the characters? What would that look like in a film, I wonder?
Anyway, there's some more terrible music choices. Some of the songs, later they play Ace of Spades, which is a fun song, and it's just abused
great
terribly.
Live one of my favourite songs that I've ever heard live. It was great.
Yeah.
It's ruined now.
The thing is, how many fucking films over the years have had Ace of Spades like cover an action scene?
Yeah, many. Must be hundreds.
Hundreds. It might actually be 100 now. There's genuinely a case. I think we could probably find 100.
The first one that comes to mind is Shoot 'Em Up with Clive Owen.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's really good. And then, but this one's just fucking wank. You know what I mean? It's just a bunch of people like running around doing nothing really for like the entirety of Ace of Spades.
Anyway,
that's great when you're at a gig, when you're at you're at Download Festival that's being played. That's fine. Not in a film. That's not what you're meant to do.
Yeah. Anyway, there's some more pointless bits. The found family realizes they are a found family, and then we get to the city, which I also assume means something to someone in the game. But it's essentially we do the Star Wars cantina scene where they walk through the city and it's the future and everything's kooky and covered in graffiti. And then we get the scene.
We see Bus Guy again, though.
And Bus Guy is back, who's alright for a moment. Yeah, I will say for Bus Guy, I don't like him, but he has the good sense not to overstay his welcome, unlike pretty much every other character in this movie.
But you wait till we get to the emotional climax of the film.
And then we get to, it turns out the Star Wars Cantina is run by, again, somebody, I'm gonna stop saying this. I assume this matters to you if you've played the game, but like the lady running the cantina is played by Gina Gershon, which is just like you got another fine actress in to just why?
At least to be fair to her, she's not in it very long. So
and as I recall, it was one of the less obnoxiously offensive. Like performance. I don't mean offensive like slurs. I mean like
no. She's not
artistically
bad. I'm not knocking
offensive.
her performance, but like artistically, she's dressed as like a sort of pastel goth interpretation of a circus clown. That's
kind of what the character that she's supposed to be playing does look like that. To be fair,
so she says in order to. Because the key is in 2 parts, and you need the true daughter of the Glorch, and you don't have the keys yet, so you need to get them. But in order to get the other keys, you need to talk to a scientistician who is conveniently like upstairs, essentially, which helps with the plot. Again, you could have skipped this whole scene then, but we get to see the quippy child with the bunny ears, because the quippy child who throws bombs and has bunny ears is like, that's real character building right there. And she's drinking milkshakes with the psycho guy, and they share it's too straw. And we find out that Cate Blanchett has unresolved mommy issues, and I wonder if that will be resolved at any point during this movie. Maybe by the robot that's been dormant for 30 years, waiting for Cate Blanchett to come back to the planet.
No one knows.
Maybe.
No one knows.
Maybe.
No one can say. Incidentally, is it?
Oh, but also, there's a guy there from the army because Kevin Hart used to work for the army.
Yeah, in case you didn't know.
There's a guy there. There's a guy there from the army who knows him, and the guy's about to pull a gun, and then he gets tased, and then Claptrap points out that he shot himself.
Yeah, again, it's comedy.
Excellent.
It's really good.
Again, that's a bit.
Show is one of the great lessons of comedy.
But that's a bit that they did in The Longest Yard, and it was way funnier in that one. And that's a film that starred Adam Sandler. Like, that's how fucking bad this is going. They did that exact joke in The Longest Yard.
Yeah.
What do you reckon the script for this was like when, like, the original fucking draft that the HBO fucking Chernobyl guy did? Do you think he wrote in jokes about people getting covered in piss and shitting themselves?
I think he did.
Not.
I think he wanted to chill out.
I'm gonna say those two bits are the only surviving like moments from his original draft.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's the other way around. That there's
the piss in the car window and the guy shits himself in the bar. Those are the only two bits that survived.
Oh no, I'm going to say it's like the other way around, that like 99.8% of his dialogue and scenes were cut. And, they just kept these two bits and then built entire shit.
The bus guy is the only bit that he wrote. That's it. That's all it is. He did the bus guy and that's it.
It is at this point that we get to meet the scientistician, because she has a clue to... She leads to more MacGuffins along the way to get to the magical portal of the planet. And it's Jamie Lee Curtis.
This is the best casting decision ever. It's so good. It's so good. The thing is, why I did not need to see Jamie Lee Curtis in a Borderlands film. It just didn't need to happen.
No,
I can't.
The kids love Jamie Lee Curtis, though,
famously,
right?
Like
13-year-olds just can't get enough of like middle-aged women. Apparently,
I swear, no, she's not even middle. She's old, isn't she? Like, is it?
Yeah,
it's like not
yeah, but you know what I mean? Though, like,
it's older than my dad.
They've cast Kate Blanchett, Gina Gershon, and Jamie Lee Curtis in this, and it's like, why?
There's like a non-zero chance that, like, because of Lord of the Rings thing, like with Kate Blanchett at least, but like, what the fuck?
And Jamie Lee Curtis is like the star of 1,000 great fucking movies. She's a legit wonderful actress. It's like, why are you here? What? I get that Kate Blanchett went insane with a chainsaw and was just like, I need to go do a movie because otherwise I'll just, start chewing my own lips off. But Anyway, she turned out not to be Kate Blanchett's mother, which thank living Christ for that, because that's what I thought for a moment.
No, because you imagine the maths behind that. Fucking hell.
Anyway, so they put these two great actresses, Jamie Lee Curtis and Kate Blanchett, in a room for like an emotional confrontation scene. Because Jamie Lee Curtis used to look after Kate Blanchett when she was younger, after her mother abandoned her, and there's unresolved issues and stress. And it just goes nowhere. Like, even with these two people in the room, it's fucking incredible.
It's incredible to write something where these two actresses can't produce anything. They have nothing to work with. It just speaks to how little they have. Like, how have you managed that? It doesn't seem possible.
How have you killed it so badly?
Yeah, but then, like, at the same time, like, the fucking robot, like, gets electrocuted and then fucking zooms off outside to run around and chat up a vending machine, like sexually harass a vending machine, I guess, more accurately.
Yeah.
It does sound like something Jack Black would do in real life, though. So I got to give him credit for that, I guess.
But then, back at the bar, Gina Gershon's trying to explain that she didn't actually tase the guy; he just got pissed. And the leader of the army is like woman with fucking Labour front bench hair.
Yeah, it's Rachel Reeves. It's Rachel Reeves, the leader of the army.
Rachel Reeves. Rachel Reeves leads the fucking Red Army or whatever the fuck they were called. And
I had it somewhere. The Red Lance, I think.
Crimson Lance.
Who gives a shit?
I feel like it functionally does not matter at all.
Yeah, so Rachel Reeves
I don't think we can call it the Red Army because those guys were fucking owned.
Rachel Reeves is in the bar, and it's like, heavily implied that her and fucking Kevin Hart's character had previously like had a relationship, but they see the robot and they chase him, and then everyone has to flee because like the fucking army's after them.
Oh yeah, there's another emotional climax scene where Kate Blanchett is talking to Bunny Girl, and Bunny Girl says, "I'm just a product that was made by Quillball Atlas to get into the vault of the whatevers," and essentially it's just like she's during Jurassic Park, like she's essentially like a dinosaur, like who had Iridian DNA extracted or whatever the fuck to build her.
Yeah, it's some fucked up shit like that.
And that scene, I'm just like, God, I was wishing I was watching Jurassic Park again.
Yeah, I don't even particularly care for Jurassic Park, but it's infinitely better than this.
Yeah, I can take it or leave it, but it's not this. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
Exactly. Like, I don't feel...
Fair play to Steven Spielberg for not making this.
Yeah, imagine Steven Spielberg making a Borderlands film.
I don't particularly like, giving shit to child actors, because, I don't know, maybe she's actually quite a good actress and just, like, doing the best with the material she has. But at some point, she almost, like, turns directly to the camera and says, "I'm just a product." I'm like, wow. What if we were all just products, man? Yo.
What if that? I guess that's kind of why that's kind of why my main engagement with this film was when I was baked. That does explain a lot, actually.
Yeah. Anyway, so the Crimson Lance and Rachel Reeves all converge on the Star Wars cantina, and they have to flee, and they build tension for a moment, and it immediately dissipates because all the main characters, including now Jamie Lee Curtis, fuck me, just get in a bin that's transported out and just get wheeled out. There's no need for the Crimson Lance to be in this scene.
It's the most incredible like fucking getaway scene in cinema history, because it's like they're in the place and they're like, oh no, the soldiers are coming, and then next shot is a bin being wheeled through the streets.
That's it. That's the plan.
And then they're inside. A shot of them inside the bin, a wisecrack, and then they're in a fucking truck driving through the desert.
God, Guardians of the Galaxy was so much better than this. I feel bad for comparing it to that. Like.
Anyway, off we go to the next location, because the next part of the big key, which is in this case not a knife but some other bit of junk, is being held in a dungeon which is full of psychos, which is, to get there...
This is actually... You mentioned the knife, but I think this is actually worse than Rise of Skywalker, because at least Rise of Skywalker was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah. It wasn't meant to be, but it was.
I mean? Like, I'm beginning to think, like, are the sequel films that bad now? I'm starting to sort of maybe we judged them too harshly. Actually, having seen this now,
exactly.
How badly did this
causes serious effects of Rise of Skywalker revisionism, which is really saying something.
I might make the video now and just be like, look, having watched Borderlands, I think it's time we forgive and forget.
Yeah.
How badly did this tank at the cinema?
Oh, it was fucking
very, very bad.
Disgustingly bad. It was like I literally think I was a substantial percentage of the people who watched it on my own. That's how few people watched it.
It wasn't that expensive to make, but I do know that it did not make back its money.
Oh no, absolutely not.
Because if they make a sequel, they should get J.J. Abrams in.
Yeah, so I've had a look. Budget was $110 to $120 million, which is insane. Looking at the film,
I mean,
and
also,
the box office
nowhere visible on screen. Nowhere visible on screen. I
want to say that actually, like, the film looks like complete dog shit throughout.
Yeah.
Like,
all of the
CGI is so fucking ugly. It's just hot fucking garbage.
There's no artistic direction that's worth talking about. There's a reason we haven't brought it up. There's just no point. But its total box office was $33 million, which is so bad. I feel like that just.
Get it fucking up, you.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the other hand, so apart from Sinan, which I know now, I do want the names of everybody else who went to this fucking movie. Who paid for this.
Not a long list.
Yeah, I feel like it's me 12 times and then it's just like another person.
Anyway, we get to next scene, which is the dungeon. It's one of many poorly lit dungeon scenes, and they're there to get another part of the key. But before they enter the dungeon proper, they have to cross on like a rickety little ladder or something, a lake of acid, which poses no threat whatsoever.
Yeah, nothing comes of it.
And then they send the robot off somewhere, and then they're waiting for the little robot, and then while they're waiting, they see like this dog shit CGI flower growing from the concrete, and everybody goes, "Wow, it's such a beautiful flower." And they literally say the line, "Wow, a flower grows from concrete."
No, they say hope grows in the strangest of places.
Yeah.
Like
anyway, it's literally literal flower growing from concrete, and it looks like dog shit CGI, and all the characters are admiring it. And then 2 seconds later, Jack Black, the little robot, jumps on top of the flower and then mashes on it and then mashes it into the ground and makes quips.
How do you reach a point in your life where you write the line, hope grows in the strangest of places? Have you never seen a fucking weed before?
Yeah, I know. Like, I was going to say, just look at most people's garden. Like, what is going on?
Do you know what I mean? Oh, it's a flower growing through concrete. It's like, yeah, okay, I need to get that robot to come and do my fucking the path in my back garden because I cannot kill the fucking things. Like, they will not stop growing. There is no hope there. Do you know what I mean?
I love the idea of getting Jack Black in to do your gardening now. Just forcing him to do your gardening as penance for this film. He has to do
Jack Black on
garden.
a unicycle, just grinding the weeds out of my garden.
Yeah, like he's gonna get sentenced by the same people who sent that Labour MP to prison. Like, he's just like cruel and unusual punishment, but for Jack Black only.
Then oh god. So the rest of the dungeon is populated by psychos. Why are the psychos there, or why are they bad? They are just because
they're super psychos.
They're nuts,
yeah. The way you know they're nuts is that they're all wearing, they're all wearing hockey masks, and they go, "Hey, you Glorg." That's kind of how you know, and they wave weapons around. That's how you know they're all psychos. And then in order to get past them, because the gang is like, there's too many to shoot, but turns out you can't kill the little robot, the quippy robot, by shooting at it. So they
that's meta commentary, because you can't kill him in the game, so he's indestructible in the film.
Yeah.
So it's like, clever
and
stuff.
Then he drives through the gang of psychos, turns around, and I think I wrote this down verbatim. I may have missed some of the sub-Nickelodeon.
Well, please don't read it out verbatim.
Bitches need to eat their own butt poopy faces until you. That dialogue remained in the movie. Somebody edited this movie and put it together and looked at that scene and went, yep, that's what we were aiming for.
I'm sorry, I'm not convinced someone edited this movie. I feel like that's a bold statement, given what we saw.
Yeah. Then we get the scene which Sinan found funny, but I found the death of Cinema, which is the robot's been shot.
It's the closest they get.
It's really not. It's like, it's just shit.
Literally, yeah. This might have been because I was baked, but who knows?
Because the robot can't die, but it's been shot a lot, so it pisses bullets because it's been shot a lot.
Got to be very clear.
And it's no, both goes out. The bullets come out both ways. That's part of the. It's part of the comedy.
Yeah, it's top comedy stuff, like, do you know what I mean? But anyway, that makes too much noise, and then we get like Ace of Spades.
I like how
run down a hallway for 20 minutes.
I like how that's how Jack Black makes too much noise. By the way, in this fucking film, that's how he does it. Not any of the other shit he does.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a whole escape sequence. It doesn't matter at all. Everybody gets out except Kevin Hart, and then at the end they mysteriously get teleported to next location.
The thing about that Kevin Hart bit is they try to make it like emotionally heavy. They like try to make it feel like they try to make you feel something. Like, don't you fucking dare! Don't you dare try to make me feel something for either Kevin Hart or this character he's playing in this film that sucks. I'm sorry, there was no... It's completely unearned. There's no character development that makes me think that I should care, like, what these people are doing.
Yeah, it's like... The thing is, as well, they shoot it like a fucking heroic last stand, you know? Like, he stays behind to make the fucking lift work so everyone else can escape. And he throws an exploding rabbit at the psychos, and then he's like... You know, some more come through, and he's shooting at them, and then he gets tackled by a mob of psychos, and then cut, and then you get Cate Blanchett going, well, he's a soldier, and he trained with the Navy SEALs, so if anyone can survive that, it's him. Yeah. And then, like, later on, he turns up at the end of the film, like, fucking, and he's fine. Do you know what I mean? That's like, well, I'm glad we resolved that.
Fucking Mass Effect suicide mission right there.
to be precise, you cut to a pile of dead psychos, out of which pops a very much alive Kevin Hart, who says "worst orgy ever," and then walks out of the screen to rejoin his found family. Anyway, we're now at fucking what's his name, Skywalker's house on the desert planet, to have another series of hearts to hearts and emotional expositions, because like those come after the action sequence. You know, that's what they do.
But it's like it's revealed that the fucking beacon. We didn't mention that. The guy from fucking Jason Bourne gave like Kate Blanchett a beacon to press when she found the kid, and then she breaks it, and then like a fucking like drone turns up with a hologram of the guy on and explains that it wasn't actually a beacon, it was a very accurate tracking device. And it's like, well, if it was a very accurate tracking device, why did they need to spot the robot near the bar and follow him to find out where they were then?
I mean, once you started paying attention to the plot, the whole thing just falls entirely to pieces.
But yeah, it turns out it turns out Kate Blanchett's going to betray everyone or something, and then she gets blown up by the fucking kid, non-lethally, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
And then everyone fucking goes to the end of the film. And then Kate Blanchett turns up as like fucking Jean Grey from the X-Men films.
First we have to have another emotional climax, because we have to go, they warp or get transported to, or whatever, to the village where Kate Blanchett grew up, where we see some more emotional moments in the form of a flashback where Kate Blanchett as a little girl is put on like the last chopper out of Vietnam by her mother, and like from the shot of the helicopter there's like room for 16 other people and a small dance floor in there, but I don't know, the mother has to die for reasons.
It's the Titanic issue,
Yeah. Oh, and then we get the Obi-Wan Kenobi hologram moment, because the little quip robot follows Kate Blanchett into, I don't know, the trailer where she was born, keels over, and then does a hologram of Kate Blanchett's mother, who says, it's not the child with the bunny ears as we were all led to believe. No, you, Kate Blanchett, are the actual real daughter of Pandora. You are
the power was inside you all along.
Yeah. The thing is, they were really trying to hint subtly that this was going to be the case, but it was so obvious the second Kate Blanchett's character starts talking about, oh, we've got the power of friendship or whatever. I'm like, it's you. It's going to be you.
Yeah. I'm like, wow, you have a mysterious lost family. I wonder what the deal with that is.
It's well, that's why her surname is Skywalker canonically. Actually, in the film. People don't know this.
Anyway, so the way you open the door to the magic mystery portal is to cram the bits of key into like a little sort of pyramid-shaped hole in the ground, and then you stand with both feet on like sort of a Dance Revolution pad, and that opens the magical door.
Yeah, the world's shittest game of Twister.
Yeah. So Kate Blanchett stands on the door, the portal reassembles because it can, and oh no, turns out the bad guy, Aquilist Quaniquak Atlas, whatever the fuck his name is, he's here with the army of the Scarlet Lance and some other mooks. They're psychos who are psycho and are out of control, except when they're like henchmen for the bad guy. Then they're in fine control.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, everyone can.
And Kevin Hart's back in the movie for reasons you just like passing human understanding.
Yeah. The bad guy's got a shield.
I feel like it's really bad form to kill off Kevin Hart and then have him come back. Just if you've managed to get rid of him, fucking get rid of him. You don't need to bring him back. Just okay. It's fine. The film does not need Kevin Hart in it. Or anyone. In fact, I feel like you could have no characters in this film, and it would probably be fine. Just, it's okay.
Yeah, but anyway, the villain, like, fucking, you know what I mean, orders, like, his army to kill everyone, and then Rachel Reeves steps in front of the bullet and says like, "No, don't kill anyone," and then turns to Kevin Hart and goes, "I'm sorry, you were right all along," and then gets disintegrated.
Immediately. It's so quick. It's so quick.
I know.
It's so the thing about redemption arcs is you have to allow them to be redeemed for at least a little bit. Like even Darth Vader got like that bit with Luke, right? Like, he got that bit with Luke, just immediately incinerated. It was. I feel like I actually burst out laughing when I saw it the first time, because it was just so funny. Good. Like, genuinely, if that was a deliberate choice to make me laugh, well done, it worked. Because it was. But also, you said Rachel Reeves steps in front of the bullet. I imagine she's like, no, the fiscal rules mean we can't afford this bullet. Please.
That's right. Yeah. What if the vault on Pandora was the real £22 billion black hole?
Yeah. That's where the Tories hid all the money. That's the problem.
Yeah. A magic money vault.
See, that would be. See, but if you made this film but parodying Keir Starmer and Rachel Reeves, it would be so much funnier and better. Just get them in.
Yeah, anyway, the bad guy says something like, you have to open the portal because otherwise I'll kill your found family and everything. But this is before the big fight scene. And the bad guy says something like, any other objections? And then we see Cate Blanchett at the top of the ridge saying, just one, you're still breathing. That's a dialogue they get Cate Blanchett to say.
Could have just said...
She's got X-Men powers now.
Could have just said just one and then just snapped to action and incinerated the guy like he did to the redeemed general person.
Yeah, so she essentially turns into Phoenix, dark or otherwise, if you know, for you X-Men heads out there. Technically, I think it's called a Firehawk, but I don't fucking care. And her secret magical mystery power is she can give other people invincibility. I'm sure this is something in the game as well. I don't give a shit.
I don't think it is actually. I think that's made I think that's made up for the film. I can't remember now. This film has upset me so much with the franchise generally that I've erased memory of the game.
There's like some incredibly like sub-Marvel extended universe action fighting sequence which just doesn't matter at all.
They actually end the battle by like the spaceship's firing. There's a spaceship above them, and it's firing a big laser down at Cate Blanchett, and she fires like a big fucking laser back at the spaceship, and it's like a big laser fight.
Meets in the middle.
Like, yeah. It's so shit.
Man,
like, imagine if you had a quid for every fucking film in the last 20 years that's ended with a giant laser in the sky.
And also,
minted.
And also someone blocking the this is what Sonic Adventure 2 did. This is
It's what one of the fucking Harry Potter movies did. I can't remember which one, but it's in there.
I can't believe actually if you put a gun to my head, I would rather watch a Harry Potter film than this. Oh, apart from as long as J.K. Rowling got no money from it.
Anyway, we can't quite stop talking about this particular action sequence without mentioning that there's a very brief 10-second shot of the little Quip robot, and he's defeating enemy mooks by punching them in the balls.
Yes, and he says into fucking intergalactic space ninja mode activated or something like that, doesn't he? Does a fucking Bruce Lee pose.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yes. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I suppressed that memory.
Yeah.
Anyway,
this to me is cinema.
For some reason, the bad guy, because he has, I think Jamie mentioned, has a personal shield, so he's unkillable or not. And he holds the evil, funny bunny girl up and says, if you don't bring me to the MacGuffin dimension or open the portal, Cate Blanchett, I will kill your found daughter. So they go to the dogshit dimension, and it turns out in the dogshit dimension, it's black and neon blue, and there's cubes that float.
Yeah, and Cate Blanchett can turn invisible.
Yeah. That's really good.
And she pickpockets the shield off him, and then he gets eaten by a fucking Langolier.
Yeah. And just this unbidden to my memory, came. I had 2 years of art class in secondary school, right? First and second year, and I'm not a good. I'm very terrible at drawing. I don't do it, as Jamie will attest from when we play Quiplash. But
you don't draw things in Quiplash.
or the other TKO, fuck you. Fucking dickhead. But at some point, we were forced to draw something with perspective. And I didn't really understand what perspective was and like a vanishing point. So I essentially drew like a bunch of boxes that were like connected with little roads or something. It looked like dog shit and it was nothing. But like the art direction was essentially for like, you know, the extra planar dimension that everybody's been chasing after 1,000 years. The art direction is the same as my drawing, which like got a 3 out of 10 in art school when I was 13. Just FYI.
Yeah, I mean, it's fucking dog shit. But anyway, the bad guy gets, like, fucking eaten by, like, a tentacle monster. And then that's the end of the film, basically. They all live happily ever after.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The tentacles, and then we get the celebration scene, because the Star Wars Cantina City is in party mode, which is weird, because, like, now that they've found...
Why would they have given a shit as well? Like...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, more materially, like, these people have found the magic MacGuffin dimension that the whole planet's been looking for like 1,000 years, which is the basis of the entire economy. So these 5 dipshits have, like, destroyed the economy of this planet, because now no treasure hunters are going to come anymore.
That's it.
But also, there's nothing in there, apart from a big squid thing, so, like...
Yeah, and some boxes.
So that means
and my drawings from when I was 13.
So that means that Rachel Reeves indirectly caused a recession on a different planet in this situation.
Yes.
So she's opposing growth. She needs to step down. In fact, I do think that my main takeaway from the Borderlands film is Rachel Reeves needs to resign. I think that is honestly as related to the plot as anything.
I think that's probably the intended lesson of the film.
Yeah, I think that is what they're trying to get us to understand. Rachel Reeves should resign, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, anyone got any final thoughts? Aside from this film fucking sucks.
Well, according to one more bit from the Wikipedia, which, you know, apparently this movie, the plan for it at least, was to create a Borderlands cinematic universe.
Of course it fucking was.
Yeah, no.
Do you think when you create the Wikipedia entry for a new film, that's just included in the template now?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to ask one thing. I want to ask, like, okay, did anyone else who watched this, well, I assume both of you did for some reason, did you get the vibe that all of the dialogue was AI? Because it felt borderline AI generated for, like, most of it.
I mean, possibly. I mean, the thing is, though, like, you know, it's like, yeah, AI, the thing is, you go like, oh, AI will never replace, like, fucking true writers and that, but some of the people they let write fucking blockbuster films, it could easily be replaced, like, I feel,
that's the thing.
by autocomplete.
I was like, because half of it was just, like, referential, and I feel like that's what AI does anyway, so who's to say? AI-assisted, question mark?
I mean, one of the, when the guy from Chernobyl left, one of the people that they replaced him with was a man, and this film is his only writing credit. And I feel like, you know what I mean, if you're spending $110 to $130 million on a film, you maybe want to hire a writer with more than 0 credits to his name.
Yeah, you want to hire the Chernobyl guy for some fucking reason.
Yeah, you don't want to replace the Chernobyl guy with a bloke who's edited a couple of documentaries about Iron Maiden.
That sounds pretty good, actually. But so my personal interest in that aside, like you don't want to make the cinematic equivalent of Chernobyl. That's what you don't want to do. You don't want to make like something that has. If I feel like there was a semi decent chance this would have killed every single video game adaptation thing that we're seeing. There was it was that bad. That, like, if the one that followed on from this, whatever film it was even close to being this bad, the whole thing would have just been shut down.
Imagine if the Minecraft movie is as bad as this.
It's going to be worse. There's no way it's not worse than this.
Yeah, it will be fucking atrocious. That's
because
I don't know, because I think the Minecraft film has in its favour that it is actually squarely aimed at children. Do you know what I mean? There's no, like, argument against that, really.
Yeah, there's this whole thing where people are like, people will talk about these sorts of films and they're like, oh, well, it's not aimed at you, 30 to 40-something-year-old adult. And it's like, yeah, but, like, maybe... But kids' films can be good too. Maybe they can.
I know.
Maybe they can have good films.
Yeah, it's the
know?
it's the Star Wars defense. Do you know what I mean? Where everyone's like fucking like, like Solo. Solo is just a complete shit.
I can defend.
You can't say it didn't happen.
I can put up a decent defense of Solo. I reckon I could put up a decent defense of it.
It's the thing with Star Wars is it's like when they're fucking like. Do you know what I mean? When they're just a bunch of like fucking random noise and everything, people just go, well, it's just a kids' film. And it's like, okay, but consider that the originals were just kids' films and yet are still better than this.
It's so good.
But then on the count, on you know what I mean? On the other side of things, it's very funny when people are still mad about the fucking Space Wizards 10 years after like Last Jedi came out. You know what I mean?
It's like, okay, that I can still find new YouTube videos getting mad about a specific sequence in The Last Jedi. It's so good.
It's like okay. Again, though, I want to remind you like that these are children's films, and maybe 10 years is a bit long for a fucking like adult to be still mad about it.
Some of them were children at the time it came out. To be fair, because it came out that long ago, but still,
yeah.
Like I'm still like, look, I got over the Mass Effect 3 ending issue. I fucking got over that, and I was like, what? I was 16, 17, maybe at the time. I got over that. It's fine, you know. You can let go. It's fine. You can appreciate it for what it is. If there's unlike this film, which you can't, because what it is cinematic diarrhea. It has no solid substance at all. It is waste. Do not watch this film. Like not even if you like bad films. I like bad films. Don't watch it. Just don't do it.
No. But at some point we should probably investigate this fucking dipshit's remake of Death Wish, because I'm sure that's gonna be great.
Why is there a remake of Death Wish? Who wanted the remake of? Would they make it fresh for a new generation? How do you even? Anyway, all right, I'm gonna get mad at it before. All right, I've got to stop myself. I'm gonna go on a rant about remaking films.
Yeah. So anyway, like fucking, do you know what I mean? Borderlands is shit. Eli Roth is a fucking wanker and a hack and a fraud.
Yeah.
And everyone involved in this should have known better, except Kevin Hart, because like, you know what I mean?
And also the literal child actor. I feel like you can give the child actor a pass because they are a child. You know, that's fine.
Marginally so.
I'm not giving Kevin Hart a pass.
No, Kevin Hart, you know,
homophobic prick.
Yeah, Kevin Hart went into this with his eyes open and deliberately performed like Kevin Hart. Which is enough to condemn him.
Imagine training with the Navy SEALs just to turn up in the film and play yourself for the 100th time in your career.
Training with the Navy SEAls to do the piss scene is all like.
That's canon now. That's literally all he trained for with the Navy SEAls, was just getting piss on him.
Well, I'm gonna watch Kevin Hart's next film then. I can't wait. What's he gonna be doing next?
Who knows? I don't want to know. I'm sick of talking about this. I'm sick of this recording. Yeah. It's one of the worst pieces of shit. Because it just made me lose the will to live. I didn't even at the end of watching Harry Brown, I just felt like really gross and awful and like violated. Like I'd
but
watched
at least
something
that was a feeling.
Like a really disturbing look into somebody. So that's what I mean. At least that was a feeling, and this just makes it just made me feel a bit sad. And just like I want all culture to end. Anyway, and on that note, Sinan, if the people want more Sinan, where can they find more Sinan?
You can find me at youtube.com/EscalatorCrusader. I've got brand new avatar of me looking very Soviet, which is very cool. Nice. I'm not sure when this is coming out, but the last video I did at the time of recording was a video where I basically called Jamie Oliver a cunt for 35 minutes.
And with good cause.
It was pretty good, yeah. Like, if you, like me, get headaches because of certain sweeteners, it's the video for you, because I make that complaint about 4 times, unprompted, from my teleprompter. I'm just like, I'm fucking sick of it, because I think I had a headache while I was recording it. So, there you go. Also, twitch.tv/EscalatorCrusader. I don't stream as much anymore on Twitch, but I do occasionally do the YouTube Zone and also play Yakuza at the moment, so that's fun. And follow me on Blue Sky or wherever. I don't know. And I'm on Instagram, but I don't post there anymore because I'm just going to use the Blue Sky rip-off version.
Yeah, and I genuinely don't remember if this is the bonus or not, so I'm just going to say that you can find more episodes for £5 a month, 2 essentially a month bonus material from us at patreon.com/praxiscast. We are, as always, regularly and on time screen doing Twitch things on twitch.tv/praxiscast on
Sunday nights now, or Sunday evenings.
Yeah.
Also, I apparently embraced snail men. That's apparently canonical.
Yeah, so Sinan has embraced the snail man. I have, made a series of good deals in the Dwarf Fortress, and I'm sure other things have happened. Go check that out, and bye.
See ya.
See ya.